The elevator doors slid shut with a finality that echoed through the confined space. And that's when the power cut out, plunging us into dim emergency lighting. My heart raced as I realized I was trapped with Jordan, my brother's best friend. The one person I'd been avoiding for months because of the way his eyes lingered on me a little too long. In that suffocating darkness, he turned to me, his breath warm against my skin, and whispered, "Alex, if we're stuck here, there's something I need to say. I've loved you since the day we met." I froze, my mind spinning like a broken record. How could this be happening? My brother, Mark, was engaged to Sarah, and our family was the picture of Midwestern normalcy. Church on Sundays, barbecues in the backyard, everyone pretending life was as straight as the cornfields in Iowa. But here I was, 25 years old, a software engineer in Chicago, hiding the fact that I was gay from everyone, especially Mark, who idolized our conservative father. Dad had always preached about family values, about how deviation from the norm was a sin that could tear us apart. And Jordan? He was out, proud, a graphic designer who wore his identity like a badge of honor, something I envied and feared in equal measure. As the minutes ticked by, the air grew thicker. Jordan paced the small space, his phone flashlight casting shadows that danced like accusations. "Look, Alex, I know you're scared. Hell, I'm terrified too. But pretending isn't living. Remember that night at the lake house last summer? You laughed at my stupid jokes, and for a second, I saw the real you, the one not buried under expectations." I leaned against the wall, my thoughts a whirlwind. Why now? Why here? If Mark found out, it would destroy him. He and Jordan had been inseparable since college, bonding over football games and late-night talks. Mark trusted Jordan like a brother, and me? I was the quiet one, the reliable son who never rocked the boat. But inside, I was drowning. Every family dinner, every time Dad ranted about those people ruining society, I felt like a fraud. The pressure built like a storm, and Jordan's confession was the lightning strike. "Jordan, stop," I muttered, my voice barely above a whisper. "This can't happen. My family, they'd never understand." But even as I said it, a part of me rebelled. What if I let go? What if I admitted that his touch, accidental as it was when he brushed my arm, sent sparks through me? The elevator jolted slightly, and I wondered if this was fate's cruel joke, forcing me to confront what I'd buried deep. He stepped closer, his eyes searching mine. "Alex, life's too short for what-ifs. Your dad, Mark, they love you, but they don't own you." His words hit like a punch. "Own me?" That's exactly how it felt. Dad's expectations were chains. Get a good job, marry a nice girl, continue the family line. Mark followed that script perfectly, proposing to Sarah last month with the whole family cheering. I was supposed to be happy for him, but envy gnawed at me. Envy for his ease in fitting in. The emergency phone rang, startling us. The building manager's voice crackled through. "Help's on the way, folks." Hang tai. Relief washed over me, but so did regret. Jordan sighed, backing away. Maybe this was a mistake. But think about it, Alex. You deserve to be happy. As the doors finally pried open an hour later, I stepped out into the lobby, my legs shaky. Jordan gave me a nod, disappearing into the night. That elevator ride haunted me for days. I couldn't eat, couldn't focus at work. My mind replayed his words. You deserve to be happy, but happiness came at a cost. If I pursued this, I'd betray Mark's trust, shatter Dad's illusions. The conflict tore at me, loyalty versus self. Every night, I lay awake, questioning if I could keep living this lie. Weeks passed, and I avoided Jordan's calls. But fate, or perhaps my subconscious, intervened. At Mark's engagement party in our parents' sprawling backyard in the suburbs, Jordan showed up, looking sharp in a button-down that hugged his frame. Our eyes met across the crowd, and the spark ignited again. Mark clapped him on the back, oblivious. Glad you could make it, bro. Alex, come say hi. I approached, my heart pounding. Hey, I said, forcing a smile. Inside, turmoil raged. Why did he have to be here, reminding me of what I couldn't have? As the evening wore on, filled with toasts and laughter, I slipped away to the quiet of the garage, needing air. Jordan followed. "Alex, we need to talk," he said softly. That elevator wasn't just a moment. It was real. I shook my head, but my resolve cracked. What if Mark finds out? He'd hate us both. The thought of losing my brother, my family, was unbearable. Yet denying myself felt like slow suicide. Jordan reached out, his hand on my shoulder. "Sometimes, you have to risk everything for the truth." In that instant, I leaned in, our lips brushing in a kiss that was both forbidden and freeing. But as euphoria surged, guilt crashed in. What had I done? The door creaked open. Mark stood there, eyes wide, the beer bottle slipping from his hand. "What the hell?" Mark's face twisted from shock to fury in seconds, his voice a low growl that cut through the night air. "Alex? Jordan? What is this?" He stepped forward, the shattered glass crunching under his shoes, mirroring the fracture in our world. I pulled away from Jordan, my mind screaming denials, but the truth hung heavy, undeniable. "Mark, wait," I stammered, but he was already advancing, his fists clenched. Jordan positioned himself between us, protective. "It's not what you think," Jordan lied, but Mark shoved him aside. "Not what I think. I just saw my brother kissing my best friend. In our family's garage, at my engagement party." Mark's words echoed my inner torment. How could I explain the years of suppression, the nights I prayed to be normal? Dad's voice rang in my head. "Real men don't cry, don't stray." But straying was all I wanted now. The party noise faded as Mark grabbed my collar. "How long? How long have you been lying to me?" His eyes, usually warm, burned with betrayal. I thought of our childhood, sharing a room, defending each other from bullies. Now I was the bully stealing his trust. "It's new," I whispered, tears stinging. "I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't want this." Jordan intervened. "Mark, listen. Alex has been struggling. This isn't about hurting you." Mark laughed bitterly. "Struggling? With what? Being gay? And you, Jordan, you knew I was straight-edge, family first. You betrayed me." He swung at Jordan, the punch landing with a thud. Jordan staggered, blood trickling from his lip. "Stop!" I yelled, pulling Mark back. "This is my fault. Punish me, not him." Mark shook me off, his breath ragged. "Dad's going to kill you. Mom will cry herself sick. And Sarah? How do I explain this to her?" The weight of his words crushed me. Our family was a fortress against the world. But now I'd breached the walls. He stormed out, slamming the door. Jordan wiped his face. "Alex, we have to face this together." But alone in my room that night, doubt consumed me. Was this love worth the wreckage? I paced, replaying the kiss, the joy tainted by Mark's horror. Happiness felt selfish, a luxury I couldn't afford. By morning, Mark had packed a bag, leaving a note. "Need space. Don't follow." Days blurred into agony. At work, I coded mechanically, my mind elsewhere. Jordan texted relentlessly, "We can fix this." But how? Dad called, oblivious. Heard Mark's upset about something. "You boys fight." I lied. "Just brother stuff." The deception ate at me. Inside, a storm raged. Pride versus shame, desire versus duty. I met Jordan in a coffee shop, away from prying eyes. "Mark won't talk to me," Jordan said, his eyes shadowed. "He's cut me off completely." Guilt twisted like a knife. This is what I feared. My family's imploding because of me. Jordan took my hand under the table. "No, because of secrets. We have to tell them everything." The idea terrified me. Dad's heart attack last year, stress could kill him. Mom's fragile faith, clinging to Bible verses about sin. Yet hiding felt worse, a slow poison. That evening, I drove to our parents' house, heart hammering. Mark was there, looking haggard. "Alex is coming clean," he announced flatly as I entered. Dad frowned. "About what?" I swallowed. "Dad, Mom, I'm gay. And I'm in love with Jordan." Silence exploded into chaos. Dad's face reddened. "What? No son of mine." He clutched his chest, gasping. Mom rushed to him. Call 911. As paramedics arrived, blame flooded me. This was the price, my father's health on the line. In the hospital waiting room, Mark glared. Happy now? You just put Dad in the ER. Tears streamed. I never wanted this. Jordan arrived, holding me. We'll get through it. But as Dad stabilized, his words haunted. I raised you better. The rejection pierced deeper than any wound. Was coming out a mistake? The conflict tore my soul. Freedom's cost was family bonds. Weeks later, Sarah confronted me at a park. Mark's a mess. He's questioning everything, including us. I'm sorry, I said, but she shook her head. You chose yourself over everyone. Was it worth it? Her question echoed my doubts. As I watched families picnic, envy surged. Why couldn't I have that? Jordan pulled me close later. We fight for us. But inside, betrayal's shadow loomed. Mark's silence was a chasm, and I wondered if bridges could mend. Dad's discharge from the hospital came with an ultimatum, delivered in his gravelly voice from the living room couch. Alex, if you choose this path, you're no longer welcome here. His words landed like a death sentence, severing the ties I'd clung to for years. Mom wept silently in the kitchen, her rosary beads clicking like accusations, while Mark stood arms crossed, his expression a mix of anger and pity. I stood there, frozen, my mind a battlefield. How could I abandon them? Dad had worked 2 jobs to send us to college, preaching sacrifice. Now my choice felt like spitting on his efforts. Dad, it's not a choice. It's who I am. I pleaded, but he waved me off. Excuses. Society's gone soft. But not in this house. His disdain fueled my inner rage. Who was he to judge? Yet, guilt whispered. He's old, set in his ways. Change would break him. Mark pulled me aside. You did this. Fix it. End things with Jordan. The demand hit hard. End it? After tasting authenticity. But Mark's eyes begged. Our brotherhood on the brink. I can't, I whispered. I love him. Mark's face hardened. Then you're dead to me. He left, slamming the door, leaving me in ruins. Jordan waited outside in his car. How bad? Worse than imagined. I collapsed into the seat, sobs racking me. They hate me. He held me. They don't hate you, they fear change. Give them time. Time? Felt like eternity. At work, rumors spread. Someone had seen us together. My boss, a devout Christian, called me in. Alex, personal life's personal, but clients are conservative. Keep it discreet. The warning stung. Even professionally, my identity was a liability. Inside, paranoia grew. Was every glance judgment? Every whisper condemnation? Jordan and I argued that night in his apartment. We can't hide forever, he said. Pride parade next month. Come with me. Bride? With everything falling apart. The idea terrified. Visibility meant vulnerability. But Jordan's passion ignited something. It's about owning our story. Reluctantly, I agreed. The parade was a whirlwind of colors, cheers, a stark contrast to my shadowed life. Holding Jordan's hand publicly, euphoria surged. For once, I felt seen, not shamed. But reality crashed when photos surfaced online. Mark texted, "Saw you prancing around. Disgusting. Sarah left me because of this mess." His words gutted me. Sarah gone. Mark's dream shattered because of my truth. Guilt consumed, heavier than before. This is my fault, I told Jordan. No, it's society's. But we push forward. Push forward? To what? Family Thanksgiving loomed, but I wasn't invited. Mom called secretly. Alex, please reconsider. For Dad's sake. Her plea tore me. Reconsider? Suppress again? The thought suffocated. Yet seeing Dad frail post-hospital, doubt crept in. Was my happiness worth their pain? A confrontation brewed at a neutral coffee shop with Mark. He arrived, gaunt. Sarah said I was too rigid, too like Dad. But you started this chain reaction. Me? For being honest. Anger flared. You've always had it easy, straight, perfect son. Mark leaned in. Easy? Watching you lie ate at me too. I suspected, but hoped it wasn't true. His admission shocked. You knew. Guessed. But Jordan, that's betrayal on another level. Tears glistened. He was my friend. The pain in his voice mirrored mine. We'd both lost, him a fiancé and friend, me a family. Can we fix us? I asked. Mark sighed. I don't know, but Dad's rallying the church against you. Be careful. The warning chilled. Back home, Jordan proposed moving in together. A fresh start. But inside, terror gripped. What if more backlash? Friends distanced, whispers at gatherings. Society's judgment was a constant weight, amplifying my inner conflict. Defiance or surrender? One night, alone, I stared at old family photos. Laughter frozen in time, now tainted. The price of love was isolation. Was it sustainable? Jordan's optimism clashed with my despair, straining us. At a therapy session Jordan insisted on, the counselor probed. What do you fear most? Losing everything, I admitted, but also losing myself. The session unearthed buried resentments. Dad's homophobic jokes, Mom's silent complicity. Awakening dawned, painful but necessary. Yet, as tensions escalated, Mark called urgently. Dad's organizing a family intervention. They're coming for you. The threat loomed, pushing me to the edge. Fight or flee. The decision weighed, emotions rawer than ever. The intervention hit like an ambush. My family converging on Jordan's apartment unannounced, led by Dad's unyielding stride and Mom's tear-streaked face. Mark trailed behind, avoiding my gaze, while Aunt Clara clutched her Bible like a weapon. Alex, we're here to save you, Dad declared, his voice booming in the small living room, turning our sanctuary into a courtroom. Save me? From what? Myself. Rage boiled, but fear tempered it. They'd driven hours from Iowa, armed with prayers and pamphlets about reparative therapy. Inside, panic surged. What if they convinced me? Years of conditioning screamed compliance. Jordan stood firm. This is our home. Leave if you're not supportive. Dad ignored him, focusing on me. Son, this lifestyle is a dead end. Think of your soul, your future. Lifestyle? It minimized my essence. Dad, it's not a choice. I love Jordan. Mom sobbed. We love you, Alex. But it's wrong. The church says. The church isn't me. I exploded, years of repression unleashing. But doubt whispered, what if they're right? Eternal damnation versus fleeting happiness? Mark interjected. Alex, I lost Sarah because your secret blew up everything. Don't make us lose you too. His vulnerability cracked my armor. Sarah's departure was my ripple effect. Her note to Mark, I can't marry into this drama. Guilt intensified, a vice on my heart. Aunt Clara prayed aloud, her words like daggers. Deliver him from temptation. Jordan pulled me aside. Don't let them break you. We're stronger together. But as arguments escalated, Dad's health faltered again, clutching his chest. See what this stress does? He gasped. Paramedics again. Blame pointed at me. In the ER, Mom whispered, End it, Alex. For peace. The plea haunted. Peace at what cost? My identity? That night, alone while Jordan stayed with friends, despair engulfed. I contemplated leaving him, returning to the closet for family's sake. The sacrifice loomed, soul-crushing. Morning brought clarity or confusion. Jordan returned, eyes red. If you choose them, I understand. But you'll regret it. His pain mirrored mine. I can't lose you, I admitted. But family ties pulled relentlessly. A betrayal unfolded when Mark confessed privately. I told Dad about Jordan months ago. I thought it'd scare you straight. Shock numbed me. You what? You set this up? Mark nodded, ashamed. I was scared for you. For us. His admission shattered trust anew. Brotherly bond fractured beyond repair? Anger surged. He'd orchestrated the pain. Confronting the family, I declared, I'm done hiding. If you can't accept me, that's on you. Dad's response, then you're out. No inheritance, No contact. The disownment hit like exile. Mom wavered, hugging me tearfully. I love you, but I can't defy your father. Her half-support stung worst. Love conditional. As they left, emptiness swallowed me. Jordan held me, but even his arms felt insufficient against the void. Society's backlash amplified. Online trolls targeted us after a leaked photo from the parade. Jordan's clients dropped him, citing moral concerns. My job hung by a thread, performance reviews citing distractions. Inside, the toll mounted. Sleepless nights, anxiety attacks. Was authenticity worth destitution? Jordan's optimism waned. Maybe we move. Start over in California. Relocation meant abandoning roots, but staying was toxic. The decision agonized. Cut losses or persevere? A turning point came at a support group. Stories of others disowned, but thriving inspired. The pain fades, one said. Freedom endures. Emboldened, I reached out to Mark. Despite everything, you're my brother. He replied hesitantly, I miss you, but Dad's unwavering. The glimmer of hope flickered amid despair. Yet, as pressures mounted, Jordan and I fought. You're pulling away, he accused.
I'm scared, he confessed.
The cost is too high. His eyes filled. Love shouldn't cost your soul. The argument left us raw, questioning our foundation. Betrayal, loss, societal scorn, waves crashing relentlessly. Emotions peaked, heavier than before, pushing toward a breaking point. In the dead of night, Jordan's ultimatum shattered the fragile peace we'd clung to. Alex, if we don't fight back together, this will destroy us both. His voice cracked, echoing the fractures in my heart. As we sat on the balcony overlooking Chicago's indifferent skyline, I'd spent weeks wrestling with the fallout, Dad's silent treatment turning into legal threats over family assets, Mom's sporadic calls laced with pleas and prayers, and Mark's tentative outreach crumbling under pressure. Fight back? How, when every step forward felt like stepping on landmines? Inside, the war raged fiercer. Self-preservation versus self-destruction. I'd lost weight, friends, stability, sacrifices piling like debts unpaid. What more can I give? I whispered, tears streaming. I've already paid with my family. Jordan's hand trembled in mine. We've both paid. My career's tanking, but I'd rather rebuild with you than hide alone. His devotion amplified my guilt. He'd betrayed Mark for me, endured punches and prejudice. Yet, doubt gnawed. Was I worth it? Society's mirror reflected a villain, homewrecker, deviant. Online hate mail flooded. Fags like you ruin families. Each word a lash, deepening wounds. A moral crossroads loomed when Dad sued for emotional distress, claiming my lifestyle exacerbated his health issues. The lawyer's call floored me. Settle or fight in court. Settle meant capitulation. Denounce my identity publicly. Fight meant dragging family secrets into daylight, exposing hypocrisies. The choice tormented. Honor thy father or honor thyself. Mark called, voice strained. Dad's obsessed. Drop Jordan and it'll stop. Betray Jordan? The idea repulsed yet tempted. Peace dangled like forbidden fruit. I can't, I said, hanging up, sobs racking. Jordan found me curled on the floor. We'll sue back if needed. For defamation. The escalation terrified. Courtrooms, headlines, our love dissected. But awakening stirred. This wasn't just personal. It was societal. How many suffered in silence? We hired a lawyer, a fierce advocate for LGBTQ rights. This is discrimination, she said. We'll win. Preparation unearthed Dad's past. Hypocritical donations to anti-gay groups while ignoring his brother's rumored sexuality, who vanished years ago. The revelation gutted. Generational trauma I'd inherited. Confronting Dad via video call. I unleashed. Your hate stems from fear. Uncle Tom, was he like me? Did you drive him away? Dad's face paled. Don't speak of him. He chose wrong. Like me. Silence followed, heavy with unspoken regrets. Mom intervened later. Alex, Dad's hurting. He loves you. but can't show it. Her words cracked defenses. Love buried under dogma, the emotional weight crushed, forcing reflection. Forgiveness or finality? The lawsuit heated, media sniffing. A reporter ambushed. Is your family feud worth the publicity? Publicity brought allies, old friends rallying, strangers sharing stories. But backlash intensified. Vandalism on our car. Sinners scrawled in red. Jordan cracked one night. I can't take this. Maybe we pause, protect ourselves. His suggestion felt like abandonment. Pause? After everything. Tears flowed. I'm scared too, Alex. The price. It's breaking me. Our embrace was desperate. Love strained to limits. In that vulnerability, truth emerged. We'd both sacrificed, but survival demanded unity. Mark's surprise visit shifted tides. I told Dad to drop the suit. Sarah's back. We're working through it. Hope sparked. Why? Because I see your pain. And mine. Hiding truths hurts everyone. His apology mended fragments. Forgive me. Tears united us. Always. Dad relented weeks later, suit withdrawn. A terse email. I don't approve, but you're my son. Not acceptance, but truce.
Mom visited, Hugues tentative.
Healing began, slow and scarred. Jordan and I emerged stronger, advocacy our new path. Speaking at events, turning pain to purpose. Yet, scars lingered. In quiet moments, I pondered the journey's toll. Betrayals forgiven, but not forgotten. Loves tested, societies challenged. As we stood hand in hand at another parade, freer, I wondered, in the end, was the agony of truth worth the dawn of authenticity? But one question lingers, sparking endless debate. Was Alex right to prioritize his love for Jordan over the stability of his family's traditional values? Or did his choices selfishly inflict unnecessary suffering on those he claimed to care about?